AWP, the mid presence that Device can bring to the board, but kicking things off. Pistarang going to be underway because he got sent starting on the T side, trying to push out on towards his A site. Kirby just raining death down from the Ninja Fuse, but he's going to get 3. What a way to kick things off. It's all on Pronax now, 1 versus 3. And I mean, you know, not really the person you want in this situation. Going to be trying to go for it anyway. Does spot out Zipnix, finds good damage, but it's going to get taken down.
2B players, but we can see somewhat of a rotation coming out. Now the push begins, and already the crossfire working out wonderfully, but Lekro will be able to trade 1 back, already starting much stronger than we saw previously. Flusher as well manages to get 2. Now things get interesting. Lekro 1 versus 2. They've already done a decent amount of damage. Of course, this was a force buy, and well, Kirby.
It's actually going to be Device doing the damage as he tags down Lekro fairly low. Device does get tagged himself, and Flush is going to be the first to fall. Kirby peeks out from Connector. Going to be looking to keep this going. Finds himself a second frag. Zipnix on the back of that nade. Does good damage as well. And it's all on Pronax. 1 HP. You know, this is going to be 3-0, unless, you know, Pronax just starts hacking blatantly.
100%.
Even then, I don't think you can do it. Oh, he just spots out his head, and there we go. That's all Device needs. Shuts him down, and already GODSENT there relegated in towards middle. Kirby's there ready and waiting, but can't quite peek on out. There's too many for him to try and deal with. Just playing it passively for the time being. Does mean that connector control going to be going the way of GODSENT, but you can see as Device over towards short with that AWP, trying to hold things down. He's got to be the linchpin here. He could be the difference between the split out on towards his site as they do look to push through connector. Mid's fairly locked down. He falls on back though, and now suddenly we can see them making some presence on towards the A site. Lekro finds Kirby in mid. Now there's no one to watch it. They have no information as to what GODSENT are doing, and it's going to be put back into a 4-on-4.
Already, Lekro has managed to have way more impact. Definitely a T-sided player, or seems to be at least. I think that's definitely the differentiation between him and Crims. Crims always very, very good at sort of holding those angles. And that's another thing I want to see is how they've actually switched up their play, whether he'll just slot into that stairs roll is something we sort of spoke about before this match begun. But now we just wait and see. This round, 20-odd seconds left on the clock as the push looks to come in from Connector. The bomb is coming in the other direction, but Zipixie's done his job perfectly. Finds himself 2, will eventually be traded out, but Glaive has dropped the bomb over towards the ramp. Well, once again, it will be Pronax to try and clutch this one out. Not looking too good so far, doing some damage, but he's just got no time. They just have to wait for him to go for the plant. And now, this buy is something that we should have spoken about ages ago, because this is a little bit of a ludicrous one. They're just going to force into this. However, so far so good. They've managed to just get a trade. A lot of damage also done onto Kirby. In fact, he's fallen in the meantime. And actually, although the buy seemed ludicrous at the start, now they're in a 4 versus 3, and they've even picked up an extra rifle.
Yeah, I mean, Lekro doing some work, looking to try and, you know, remedy his shortcomings from the previous game. Already found 2 frags early on. It's going to help open up this A site. The rotate's already fully underway, and GODSENT, well, they're falling on back. They leave Pronax behind, and he gets fed to the hungry wolves. They're just lurking him towards A site as they do take him out. It's going to go 3-on-3. Pronax, I mean, being out in the open like that wasn't really what they needed. I mean, they were trying to sell, you know, the fake. They were trying to make them think they're still committing towards this A site. You know, losing Pronax, that lone player over towards A, it should be fairly obvious here from Astralis, and that's exactly what we're seeing. They're reading this perfectly. They rotate everyone over towards this B site. It is going to be Zipnix coming in late, but Device, to hold things down over towards short, does have the AWP. Dupree, meanwhile, playing wall. Lekro, quick to take him down. He's going to be on 3. He's going huge into this round. He finds himself a 4th. He's nearly on the ace, but Zipnix not going to let him have it. Lekro, what's happened? I feel like we were pretty harsh on him last game, but he's made an amazing recovery, and it's all going to be on Zipnix now. 1 versus 2. He's got to find JW and Flusher to defuse this bomb and win the 5th round.
Yeah, and they're playing this smart. JW's not going to go for anything overly aggressive. Flusher is being even more passive over towards the other side. They've spotted him out. However, Flusher will actually peek, hoping he'll be able to get the trade, and he was very low on HP, but bomb beginning to tick relatively quickly now, so we need to see something very, very fast. JW so close to going down, but he has bought enough time and will even find the kill.
2 UMPs, 2 rifles, and a 5-7 on Zipnix. Push coming underway towards his A site. Glaive playing under scaffolding, going to be able to get 1, looking for a second, but Schneider's there to trade things out, puts it into a 4-on-4. But it's Device going in for the peak with this UMP, going to find 3, looking for going to find 2, sorry. Bit preemptive there. Looking for number 3, and it's all going to fall on a Pronax once again. The very weak buy from Astralis is going to be paying off. Pronax gets taken down as Debris finds the headshot. It's going to see this boost going down in mid. Schneider's going to be up on top of Pronax's head, trying to spot out Device in a window, but before that, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. It's Kirby just to shut down the boost. He knocks them down as they stand there. Not going to be strong enough. United together.
We're about to get to what, 7-1 without any sort of impact. may be able to get a bomb plant here, but while Glave's just stepping up, he's got Kirby alongside him, and this partnership's looking nice over on this A site. JW, well, he'll get one, but there's an instant trade coming in from Device. And
but now the rotates coming on through. Both Zipnix and Debris here to hold down B. Flusher exerting his pressure in through mid. Has to contest Glaive, who's playing in towards Connector. He's also got Device to back him up. Right now, though, this B stack has 2 players here to hold this one down. GODSENT, they've got their guys coming through, but Device can be able to drop Flusher. They lose the power of the split, and it's Debris on truck, going to be able to find one. The trade does come through, but then Zipnix, he's holding down the site. He's got to buy time, but that's exactly what he's doing. 4 seconds left. Schneider just doesn't have enough time. He does find one on the nade as a bit of a parting gift. That's the Martyrdom perk, if I ever did see it. And I just got censored when I tried to insult you, so
that
there we go.
Demonic. Either way, it will be the spray down once again, and we've seen that reset come in once more for GODSENT. Problems occurring, and well, they've just got next to nothing. Schneider with the D.
Device finds it. Now it's a 4 and 5. They're going to continue with this push. Device is hopped down. The Molotovs are raining on in through the fire and flames. JW able to find one as he gets that late trade onto Device, but it's Glaive still holding down this A site, putting the heart on him. Lekro with the UMP racks up $600 and a kill, but Kirby, he's buying time for this lengthy rotate from Dupree as he pushes around through T-spawn. Kirby switches it up to Stairs to hold down the site.
Yeah, Dupree's position is going to be so vital as well. If Kirby can just stay alive, that position over towards Palace is so good for denying a bomb plant, especially with the position of the bomb. That's the scariest factor at the moment. Flusher has to be very, very careful that he doesn't go down, and Kirby is so close to spotting, and there we go, we lose one, and there's the bomb dropped, exactly what was mentioned, leaving just Lekro, AWP in hand, to try and challenge it.
To lengthen their lead that much more.
Yeah, and the other problem that I really want to talk about is the fact that the only player really trying to make any sort of play in that position was Pronax. Like, there was no way that he could be traded by anyone. There was only 2 players left. They had an advantage. They needed to try and take that as a team, and it just seemed like everybody else was waiting and hoping, oh, you never know, Kirby might just run into the open. And like, there was just nothing that was going on between Flusher and Lekro, so a little bit disappointed. At the same time, it was a really nice rotation, and Kirby did hold it down just long enough for Dupree to come in from behind. Either way, in this round, we've just seen a mop-up of frags, pretty much like...
Schneider have kind of become the core power too.
Again.
They do the boost once again. This time it's going to work out. JW walking in the crosshair of Device. Bites the dust very early on here, and now GODSENT, they have to try and play with a man down. They've been struggling enough with 5. They'd probably even struggle with 6, and now they're going to have to try and play this out with 4.
What are you saying, like, just bring back Crims as, like, an extra player?
Yeah.
Well, we have seen them do things in the before that have, like, been a little bit sketchy, so maybe they can do that one. I don't know. Either way, it is looking very, very bad. A repeat of at least the first half of the WSG tournament, and, well, I'm a little bit skeptical about whether they'll be able to pull it back as heroically as last time. Either way, Kirby, okay, a little bit slow to react, still manages to get a 1-for-1, and there are 2 players waiting on the site. It will be Glaive, and well, Device now even holding the cross. This is going to make things even more difficult. Flusher will be able to grab one, but now it is just Flusher. 1 versus 3, and I do not have my hopes up. Zipix is even going to spot him and tag him down to half. He's got Dupree behind him, short being held where the bomb is currently left open, and he basically has to just find a 1v1, which he will do.
Max taking this very aggressively. Device holding up close, does have the AK, and well, he managed to get himself up into the corner. The push has slowed down a lot. They lose the early momentum, and Kirby taking out Schneider, going to be slowing it down that much more. Going to be coming on the way. Pronax trade things out before Device playing that corner. Going to pick up 2, leaving this all in the hands of Flusher and JW. They're making quick work of these A-side players. They take out Device as well, and now it's all on Dupree. 1 versus 2, rotating in from that B site, trying to push through Connector. Bomb's going to go down. It is planted safe, though, so neither of them really going to be in a good spot to hold this one off.
Yeah, we are just looking at Dupree at the moment. Flusher finally having some light at the end of this tunnel as he will find a couple of kills, but now they just have to try and hold this one off. Now, Dupree has a little bit of utility to
push as Schneider gets smoked out of position. Pronax now falls on back passive. That's going to open up this site. The smoke's raining as well. Schneider going to find one through the smoke because he doesn't need vision. Oh, Flusher, what was that? This is why people say things about you. That was insane. Just firing through the smoke. Finds 2 headshots that he really shouldn't have got. Now it's all on Zipnix and Glaive. 2 versus 3. Thanks to that wonderful shot little bit of luck as well mushed in there from Flusher.
That's absolutely ridiculous stuff, but there's still players to find. Xyp9x looking for Flusher, who's managing to dodge. Actually, Pronax are going to be tagged low. There's still a player around the stairs as well in the form of Letcro, but they don't really need to challenge. Both players trying to cross over at this point. Xyp9x still peeking, but he's not finding anything at the moment, and both players now so very low. And Flusher, in style, ends this round. 2 through the smoke and a in fact, so there is some sort of play that they can make at this point in time. Flusher is probably going to be the first man of contact, although already Xyp9x with another kill onto JW on the A site. This is going to leave them a little bit open, and I'm not sure Flusher even knows that two players are getting close to that connector position. dupreeh, he's going to peek around, try and get rid of Flusher, who's already getting tagged up, but this means that the split is on, and really Flusher, there's not much he can do about it.
Yeah, no, you can't really do much. Trapped over towards short. Smokes as well, blocking his vision. And
Need more smoke shots.
Yeah, not going to be guided by the hand of fate. We can see Letcro.
Hand of God, you missed
basically,
one there. Come on.
Oh yeah, hand of God. Yeah, that's a good point. It's all on Flusher, 1 versus 5. And while he's the man of many talents, I don't think clutching this one out is going to be in his strategy book, because he does full on back, try and hold on to this M4. But Astralis, something tells me that they're not going to let him get away with this.
Well, yeah, they... Oh,
speaking of sketchy,
yeah,
Flusher in mid, going to be finding some headshots on the back of the... Oh, saying that Kirby actually going to be one-upping him. Finds 2 headshots, which is better than 1. Just completely shuts that one down. Yeah, there we go.
Nailed it.
Well, you know, the old saying, 2 heads is better than 1. Quite literally, in this sense, as Kirby adds them onto his tally. We can see lots of mid-presence once again coming out from Astralis. Xyp9x going to get shut down over towards A, though, so GODSENT not going down without a fight, as they do eliminate the lurk presence that was coming in on behalf of Xyp9x. Now, Astralis, they have been relegated over towards B. Schneider goes for the peek out in mid and does find some damage on the ump to, you know, just try and do a little bit more, put a little bit more hurt on Astralis.
Yeah, still a minute left on the clock with so much left to play, but just look at how this round has slowly begun to balance out. We've got an we've got an AK either side. The only difference is the CZ, but at the same time, Letcro has more HP, so it is a somewhat balanced situation now, and it's all about that sort of gamble position. Now, the interesting thing is, the one CZ is alone, but Pronax will manage to find a player over towards the A site. Now, this is actually going to be a bad thing, because it means that drag Schneider further over. It leaves Letcro alone. He needs to get himself 1. If he gets 1, then really this should be a fine situation. He's going to spam away. Device isn't able to catch him out, and we're looking at the rotation. dupreeh will, in fact, bring it back to a 2v2, and, well, the minimum that was said, he doesn't actually manage to retrieve it. Now, we look towards the remaining players. This is a 2v2 retake.
Schneider going to be going out. dupreeh does find him, though. It's a 1 versus 2, and it's all on Pronax. Trying to make his way in from short. Does have the AK to use to his advantage. He's got to try and find Device, though, and he peeks out from bench. He's going to land the headshots.
Both teams gained from it, but in this round at least, okay, CT side are starting to step up a bit. It's still even trades at the moment, but we'll see Flusher get himself another one. JW looking to try and bring it back further.
Yeah, it's a 2-on-3. They're pushing out towards the A site, though. Kirby not ready to go down without a fight. Playing up close over here towards Sandwich. Flashes himself. 1-3. Going to be firing out a second. Pushes through, and it allows dupreeh to find Letcro. Look at this. They turn it into a 2-on-2. Kirby gets 1. And it's all going to fall into JW. He's playing in connector, taking it very slowly. He does get Kirby, but he's still got to deal with dupreeh. 35 HP. And only 8 on JW.
Yeah, it's happened again from a 3 versus 2. Down to what seems an advantage for Astralis, but it's so very close in this scenario. JW bring it back to a 1 versus 1. And it's actually going to rotate into the right direction. If he went towards ramp, the bomb would be in his hands. Instead, he's going to go Palace. And, well, by the looks of things, he may have just had this perfectly. As long as dupreeh goes for a plant, he doesn't need to peek. That's pretty much all he needs to do. He just waits for the plant, and then everything will be absolutely fine for him. Because, here we go, dupreeh, well, worst position possible, and there we go. Very, very...
Although GODSENT, maybe not so much lately. It is going to be a 5-15 scoreline, and Flusher goes aggressive up towards top mid. It drops out Kirby. And it's Device to equalize things back into that 4-on-4. Glaive trades out on a Flusher. Going to be a 3-on-4 scenario now with the man advantage leaning towards Astralis. Device finds a second. JW going down. Pronax goes for the trade, and he does get it with Xyp9x. Quick on his feet. Going to turn this around. Letcro on short. Going to find 2 on the back of that UMP, though. Letcro shouldn't be allowed to have done that much damage. And he puts it into a 1-on-1. GODSENT, and they might be coming back from this.
Yeah, this is the man that you want in this situation, at least on this map. Letcro has been the one saving grace for this team for some of the rounds, but he's got to try and bring this back. 3 versus 1, already down to a 1v1, but it is Glaive. He's been pretty solid so far in this map, and, we're waiting to see whether or not he'll take the challenge. The bomb plant is for him. The bomb plant... Well, no, it's not. He's put it over towards in default, and he's over towards the ramp. This could be a little bit of a surprise, but if Letcro crosses over, he should have a good opportunity. He spotted him out, goes for the spray, and hits the headshot as well. Letcro will save them.
Those are their options here. You can see Kirby pushed out in towards mid. He's trying to exert some pressure here early on. Might be able to pick up a frag or two, while the rest of his team push in towards this B site.
Letcro is going to be the man on point at the moment. Finds the first headshot, looks for more, but Dupree's there to trade. Flusher over towards short. Maybe able to get one. Actually gets the player who he switches to and leaves the bomb to go down. Glaver's picked up an AK. Kirby has some armor. And maybe we're not done just yet. We were saying this should be a round going their way. However, here we go. Finally, some normality to the round. 2 players will be dropped on this retake, and this leaves Dupree. He has some armor, but 5 HP to play with.
5 HP in the eyes of Astralis, searing into his soul. I wouldn't know much about that being Ginger, but still, it is going to be Dupree versus 3. Going to go for the peak, finds Pronax, but he's still got more to contest with. He does good damage, but JW there with the AWP primed and ready. Does shut that down, but it down with this AWP at longer angles, and we could potentially see him cause some serious damage. Astralis, they're trying to take control of mid by pushing through low as they've anticipated the AWP play from JW in window. Instead, he's going to be playing in towards connector, but that doesn't matter. Gets caught looking the wrong way, and it's going to be dropped out very early on. Flushing out to try and refrag, going to be flashed out of his position from short, handing mid control over to the Danes here as they keep this aggression going. Flusher does go for the peak, manages to drop out device, but can't find the players who push up through connector, meaning that Pronax is basically left to fend for himself in that A site.
Yeah, 2v4 spray through. Flusher doing Flusher things, but doesn't quite manage to catch out Dupree. Glaive going low as well, so there is more potential. And look at the position of the bomb at the moment. It's still got to rotate back in. Letcro trying to find the player over towards that smoke. They haven't actually gone in that direction anymore. Dupree falling away, and really we need to look at the position of Xyp9x. He's coming in from behind. Kirby will find another, but now Flusher, well, we spoke about a 1v4. This is what he needs to do to keep them in the game. And look at Xyp9x. Ends his life. It's actually Kirby, but either way, it is over.